Hi, I'm Alex. This is Pucksandpaperbacks, where I love to shout about queer and trans books. It's time for another round of the Queer Lit Readathon. The Queer Lit Readathon is hosted twice a year, in June for a full month and in December for a week. This round is happening from December 7th to December 13th. It's hosted and created by Kathy. In my description, I will link Kathy's announcement video, the guest host, and just all of the information that you need. Every round there's a bingo card with prompts to get you started. The objective of the readathon is just that you're reading books with queer rep. I love me a bingo card. For the last couple rounds, I've been doing this video where I give you book recommendations based on almost every prompt. There are some prompts I can't fulfill if I don't have a recommendation or they are open-ended. So in this video, I'll be giving you recommendations for almost every prompt and sharing what I hope to read. Of course, I will be vlogging it. I try to do that every year. I'll link some past videos in the description. With that all out of the way, let's get into the video. The first prompt is pansexual rep. I don't read enough pansexual rep, and that is something that I need to work on, but I do have two recommendations. First is an erotic romance, Drag Me Up by R.M. Virtues. This is an erotic contemporary romance retelling of Hades and Persephone. Hades is a demisexual, pansexual man who owns a casino, and he runs the underworld in the city. Persephone is a black trans woman and aerial performer. The author has provided content warnings on his website, so I'll link it down below. My other recommendation is pretty short. It's under 200 pages. This is Get It Right by Skye Killian. We have a butch lesbian parole and The Pretty Nurse Who Got Away. This is a second chance romance. It has pansexual rep. Also some chronic migraine representation. It talks about incarceration and things like that. If there's any content warnings, I'll try and provide them. This is a short and sweet book. I enjoyed it and I think it's perfect for a readathon. My hopeful is Final Draft by Riley Redgate. I know this has pan rep. I have been waiting to read it. It is on my list of books that I have to read before the end of the year or I have to unhaul them, so it would be nice to finally get around to this. According to The Quiet Pond, the main character, Layla, is an intersection of marginalized identities. She's biracial, Ecuadorian, and French-Canadian. She's pansexual, fat, and has anxiety. Next is Southern Hemisphere. I take this to read a book set in the Southern Hemisphere or by an author from there. I really like these prompts because they make you think outside of the box and realize maybe what you're lacking in your own reading. So for Southern Hemisphere, I do have a recommendation, but I realize I don't read enough from the Southern Hemisphere, and that's something I would like to work on. My recommendation is the graphic novel Stars in Their Eyes. It is following two Australian teens. There's disability rep and there is a non-binary character. It's YA and it's set at a convention. I adore this. My hopeful is Ready When You Are by Gary Lonesbro. I've been wanting to read this. It's set in Australia and is Indigenous. Next is Rainbow Flag. Read a book with the rainbow flag colors on the cover. I do have a few recommendations. These will also double up with other prompts, so I'll let you know what those are as well. First is the YA book Friday I'm in Love by Cameron Garrett. We follow 16-year-old Mahalia, who sees her friends all having these elaborate Sweet 16 parties. For her, she works a part-time job at a grocery store and lives with her mother. They have different financial circumstances than her friends, so she feels left out. One day she gets the idea to have her own coming out party. She's queer and wants to celebrate it and finally come out to her mom. I love this so much. It's so good. Cameron Garrett is one of my favorite queer authors. This also talks about music, hence the title, but it talks about old music from the 70s and 80s. I love that so much. I actually read this for a vlog where I read books with song lyrics in the title, so I'll link that up above for you. But I highly recommend this and it is perfect for this prompt. For this prompt and the middle grade prompt, you can't go wrong with Benjamin Dean. Now, I believe his books are only published in the UK, so this might not be as accessible. He's one of my favorite middle grade writers, and I adore these books. His debut was Me, My Dad, and the End of the Rainbow. It is following a boy whose father comes out as gay and he attends a pride parade. I just love the way that this talks about queerness and how to educate children about it. And the cover is perfect for this prompt. He has another middle grade book called The Secret Sunshine Project, which would also work for this. We follow B, whose father recently passed away from cancer. The last time they all attended the Pride Parade is when her sister was the most happy. Now they have moved away from their home and B wants to make her sister happy again, so she and her friends tried to create their own Pride Parade. So cute. Really good. As for my hopeful, I don't have anything picked out for this prompt yet. Next is choose your own. This is just to make your own category. If you're stuck, here are some options. For this prompt, you could use trans author, any sort of representation, maybe romance, or just any genre that you're reading. It could also be a book under 200 pages. Maybe you're reading a graphic novel, maybe you're reading a new to you author, anything goes. For me, I will be doing 2025 release and hoping to get to one of my anticipated releases of the year, Bed and Breakup by Susie Drummond. Two exes reunite to fix up and sell the vacant bed and breakfast that destroyed their marriage. Next is other language. This is to read a book that is written in a language that is not your first language and or translated from a language that is not your first language. I have two recommendations. One is a manga and another is a translated YA. Starting with the YA, I love this book and recommend it anytime I can. It actually was a group book for the round that I hosted of the Queer Lit Readathon. This is Where We Go From Here by Lucas Roca. It is translated from Portuguese to English. We follow three friends in Brazil whose lives have all been impacted by HIV. I love this book so much. It is so good. For the manga, I have to recommend Confessions of a Shy Baker. I have read up to volume 2, so for my hopeful, I am going to continue with volume 3. We follow Tosh and Gon, who are a gay couple in Japan. I like this because it talks about gay issues in Japan. We also have some social commentary. In the first volume, Tosh deals with his agency wanting to be more LGBT friendly to get more customers. So we talk about rainbow capitalism and just not feeling accepted. Throughout the series, Tosh starts to become more comfortable with his sexuality, so I'm interested to see what volume 3 holds. As the title implies, we do have baking to help Gon with some of his health goals. Tosh bakes some lower calorie treats for him and we get the recipes. That might be a turnoff for you if you don't want to read books about weight loss and things like that. I would skip this manga series, but I really like the way that it incorporates the recipes, and Tosh and Gon are just so sweet and I love reading about them. Next is fantasy. I don't read a lot of fantasy, so I don't have a lot of recommendations here, but I do want to recommend a book that I feel like I haven't talked about enough this year. If you want a light fantasy, I have to recommend Costumes for Time Travelers by A.R. Capetta. This is a light fantasy with time travel, a T for T romance set in a queer normative world. If you want a graphic novel series, I have to recommend The Tea Dragon Society by Kay O'Neill. This is featuring tea dragons and it is just such a wholesome series. For picture book, I have several recommendations and I actually have a video where I recommended a bunch of queer picture books, so I'll link that up above as well. Here are a few of my recommendations. I recently read Uncle Bobby's Wedding by Sarah S. Brannon. We follow Chloe, whose Uncle Bobby recently got engaged. This scares her because she feels like everything is going to change and Uncle Bobby is not going to have time for her anymore. But Uncle Bobby nips that in the bud and makes sure that Chloe gets to know his partner as well. I love this. It was really sweet. You may have heard of this title before, And Tango Makes Three by Justin Richardson. It has been banned and challenged. This is a true story from the Central Park Zoo following two male penguins who are given an egg to protect and nurse, and they become a family. That's why this has been banned. So if you haven't read it, I think this is a perfect opportunity to do so. It is so sweet, it's so cute, and it infuriates me that people want to ban it. And my last recommendation is If You're a Kid Like Gavin by Kyle Lukoff. This is also a nonfiction biography about Gavin, a young trans boy who was denied access to a bathroom at school, and just how he has become an activist and tried to make life more inclusive for himself and other trans kids. Next, because it's December, the prompt is season, to read a book set during any season. I'm in the Northern Hemisphere, so I'm gonna recommend some winter titles, starting with the YA How to Excavate a Heart by Jake Maya Arlo. This is a sapphic romance following two Jewish girls who meet during the winter. I want to specifically mention that this is not a holiday book, it is just a winter book. It was mismarketed as a Christmas book, despite the author being Jewish, and the whole point of the book is to talk about how commercialized Christmas is, and all of the characters are Jewish, the author is Jewish. This is no way a holiday book, it is just a winter book. I read this in January and I haven't stopped thinking about it. I really love it. It is a great seasonal book. But if you are looking for a holiday book, I have to recommend It's a Fabulous Life by Kelly Farmer. This is a sapphic, It's a Wonderful Life retelling. You're welcome. I'll also recommend Kiss Her Once for Me by Allison Cochran. There's also the novella to the Charm Offensive called The Charmed Christmas. Kiss Her Once for Me has anxiety rep. It is a marriage of convenience and second chance romance. It's one of my favorite books with anxiety rep. My hopefuls are Most Wonderful by Georgia Clark, very seasonal, and Deck the Holes. That is a romance that I've been wanting to get to. I could also go with any of these. I'm leaning more towards this, Make My Wish Come True by Rachel Limcott and Allison Derrick. Next is Debut. I have a couple YA here, starting with Alatsue by Darcy Little Badger. This has a sexual rep, Lip and Apache rep, and Ghost Dogs. I recently read Ophelia After All by Raquel Marie. This has Shakespeare, botany, roses, a great friend group, and some queer and questioning rep. And if you want to read a trans debut, Ray Stovey's Between Perfect and Real is one of my favorites. It has theater. We follow Dean, a young trans boy who is closeted. Everyone knows him as a lesbian, but inside he knows he's a trans boy. When his theater director casts him as Romeo in their non-traditional production of Romeo and Juliet, it gets him thinking more about his gender identity. I absolutely love this. Next is Detective. You can't go wrong with any cozy mysteries. I recommended some in my fall book recs video, so I'll link that down below as well. Sorry, there's gonna be a lot of things in the description, but I make a lot of content. Here I'll recommend the Criminal Intention series by Cole McCade. This is pitched as Criminal Minds but gay. Next is BIPOC Nonfiction. I'm going to recommend a book that I read last year for the Queer Lit Readathon, Pretty by K.B. Brookins. This is a memoir written in verse about K.B. Brookins' life as a Black trans-masc, non-binary person. It talks a lot about religious trauma and things like that, so if that's something that you're looking for, I recommend this, but I just recommend it anyway because it is so good. I'll also recommend Punch Me Up to the Gods by Brian Broom. This talks a lot about masculinity and toxic masculinity and how Brian overcame that and how it affected him and his sexuality. Next is historical fiction. I have A Gentleman's Gentleman by T.J. Alexander. This is a T for T historical romance between Lord Christopher Eden and his valet, James Harding. I love this. I highly recommend the audiobook. It's a Regency romance, so it's set in Regency England. If you're looking for a Western, Lucky Red by Claudia Cravens is sapphic. There is a lot of found family, and I love this so much. Also recommend the audiobook. It is set in the spring of 1877. For my hopeful, I'm going with I Shall Never Fall in Love by Harry Connor. This also works for the prompt Bookish. It is a Jane Austen inspired YA graphic novel. It has queer, non-binary, and black main characters living in Regency England. It balances a cute queer love story with historical accuracy about queer people and people of color's experiences. Next is one of my favorites, Middle Grade. I do have a full recommendation video for that, so I'll link it down below. Here are some of my recommendations. I've already recommended Benjamin Dean, but I still recommend him. A new release is Glitch Girl by Rainey Oat. This is written in verse. It is about a trans girl who is obsessed with computer games and like roller coaster tycoon-esque games. She's navigating her ADHD diagnosis. You can't give me Middle Grade and not have me recommend a Nicole Mellowby book. This also works for the Rainbow Flag because of her glasses, but this is actually set during the summer, so if you're looking for a summer book, if you're in the Southern Hemisphere or you're in winter and you just want to think about summer, this is Winnie Nash Is Not Your Sunshine, following Winnie Nash, who likes girls, but she is living with her grandmother for the summer and was told specifically not to tell her grandmother. She gets a summer crush and she ends up at New York Pride. I love Nicole Mellowby. She is the queen of queer middle grade and I can't recommend her enough. Next is Bookish. I'm going to recommend Recommended Reading by Paul Katia. This is an Achillean romance set in a small town. We follow Bobby, who thinks of himself as a bookish matchmaker. So when his uncle gives him a job at his bookshop, he wants to make it better and turn it around. I love this because of the marketing aspects, just seeing how he makes over the place and gets more traffic to the bookshop. It also has a romance, and I really like this. I vlogged it at the beginning of the year. It was a January release, so I'll link that vlog down below. Bobby is a hopeless romantic, and this was just a feel-good contemporary. And last, because it is the 16th round, the prompt is to read a book with 16 letters in the title. This was a tough one, but I do have 2 recommendations. First is the nonfiction Real Queer America by Samantha Allen. This follows Samantha Allen, who is a trans woman and journalist who goes on a road trip visiting red states. It talks about the importance of queer people in red states. I'll also recommend Detransition Baby by Tori Peters. This is a messy literary fiction about 2 trans women, one who has detransitioned, and how their life changes when a baby comes into it. I read it in the summer and enjoyed it. I also read it for a vlog, so I'll link that down below. I'm recommending so many videos, but hey, it's for your viewing pleasure and it will help you in the long run. Okay, those are all of the recommendations and some of my hopefuls. Like I said, I'll be doing a vlog, so look out for that. If you're new here, hi, I'm Alex. I'm a trans fan who loves to uplift queer and trans books on my corners of the internet. So if you're into that, feel free to hit subscribe, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It helps push it to more people. Let me know if you are participating in the Queer Lit Readathon and what books you are looking forward to reading. Thank you to my top members for their support over on Patreon and Bindery. It means the world to me. If you would like to support me, I am on Bindery and Patreon. With Bindery, I am trying to grow enough to launch my own imprint, so if you would like to support me there, I would really appreciate it. It's free, and you'll get access to my private Discord. If you would like to watch more, I will link a video here and you can subscribe there.